Hey everyone, this workshop is how to use Zotero to manage your citations. In the workshop, I'm going to cover the basic workflow of using Zotero and its sync and group features. Before we get started, I want to give you some background information on Zotero. Zotero, it was first developed by the Center for History and New Media at George Mason University. It was first released in 2006. Now it's a project of the Corporation for Digital Scholarship, a nonprofit organization dedicated to the development of the services and software for researchers. Although Zotero is free, it has been very well maintained and developed. We can tell this from its version history. The latest release is on April 16, 2021. That's less than 2 months ago. It has a very good documentation. As you can see, it's very well organized and very complete. In addition, its forums are very active. We can tell that from the timestamp. Zotero's homepage highlights its main features. Meanwhile, it also outlines the basic workflow of using Zotero. In order to use Zotero, first you need to get stuff into Zotero. Next, you need to organize stuff within Zotero. And last, is also our goal to use Zotero is to write with the help of Zotero. So that's the basic workflow of using Zotero: collect, organize, and cite. On top of this basic workflow, there are also two helpful features: sync and group. Sync allows you to maintain one up-to-date integrated Zotero library across devices. Group allows you to share your research data. So that's what we are going to cover in today's workshop. Let's get started. First, we need to make sure you have Zotero installed on your computer properly. Go to Zotero homepage. This is the URL for Zotero homepage. Click on the red download button. You will need to have these two pieces installed: the Zotero application itself and a Zotero connector for the web browser you're using. Zotero connector is a web browser extension that can sense the content you're browsing and enable you to save it to the Zotero library. Zotero connectors are available for Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and Edge. For best experiences and more compatibility, I recommend you to use Chrome and Firefox. If your Zotero connector installed successfully, you should see a Zotero Save button at the upper right corner of your browser. When you mouse over it, the tooltip says Save to Zotero. Open Zotero application. You will see its three-column interface. If you have a fresh installation, your Zotero library is almost empty. The first step of using Zotero is to get stuff into Zotero. In order to bring items into your Zotero library, you have to have your Zotero application open. You can minimize it where you can let it run in the background, but it has to be open. We will see how to get a book item, a journal article item, and a newspaper article item into Zotero. I'm going to use Firefox. Go to the library homepage. Click on WorldCat. That is a good tool for searching books. Type in University Builder by John Bowes. Click on Search. Click on Books. The second item from the search result page is a newer version of the book. Click on it. At the upper right corner, you will see a book icon. That is Zotero's Save button. Click on it. It says Saving to my library. Back to Zotero. you will see this book item has been captured to your Zotero library. Next, we will see how to get a journal article item into your Zotero library. On the library homepage, click on Databases, search for JSTOR, click on the second link, search for Buckyball Rice University, click on the first item, click on the red Download PDF button to accept the terms and conditions from JSTOR. Back to the article page, you will see a paper look-alike icon. That's Zotero's Save button. Click to save it. So you will see both the item and the associated PDF file have been saved to your Zotero library. Zotero has this nice feature to automatically attach associated PDF files and other files when saving items. This by default is checked. However, for JSTOR, if you don't accept the terms and conditions, Zotero will not be able to save the associated PDF file. Click on this Back to Result Page button. On the search result page, click on the folder. This pops up a window with all the items on the current search result page. So this allows you to select all or deselect all to select multiple items and save it to Zotero library at once. So you will see all the items and their associated PDF files have been downloaded and saved to your Zotero library. Next, we will see how to save a newspaper article. On the library homepage, click on Research Guides. Search for newspapers. Go to New York Times. Find school. Go to New York Times website. Assume I want to search something related to COVID-19. Want to click on the first item on the search result page. After the page is fully loaded, at the upper right corner, you will see this newspaper look-alike icon. Click on it. And you will see this newspaper article has been saved to your Zotero library. Similarly, you can go back to the search result page. Click on the folder icon, and you can save multiple items at once to your Zotero library. Using Zotero's Save button is the most convenient and reliable way to get high-quality metadata to your Zotero library. The way Zotero works is when you are browsing newspaper website, library catalog, or journal databases, Zotero has site translators that can detect or sense the content you're browsing. It sends you a signal through the Zotero Save button. So Zotero Save button will look different depending on the item you're browsing. Within Zotero, you can also add items by its unique identifier, like ISBN, DOI, or if a source isn't available anywhere online, you can also add it manually, like a manuscript. If you have a massive collection of PDF files before you start using Zotero, you can also bring in those PDF files into your Zotero library. You can just drag and drop your PDF files into the central column in the empty area of the central column. When you drag and drop those PDF files into your Zotero library, Zotero will use its web services trying to find matching record for the PDF files. If a matching record is found, an item is created and the PDF file is attached. If a matching record is not found, the PDF file will remain as a standalone PDF file. Now let's see how to organize stuff within Zotero. There are two ways to organize your stuff in Zotero. One is by collections, the other is by tags. The left-hand column is My Library. It contains all items in your library. You can create collections and sort items into collections. Collections can be a research topic or a project you're working on. You can right-click over My Library, click on New Collection. Or click on New Collection button. After collections are created, you need to go to My Library and add items to the collections. You can just drag and drop to make it happen. Or you can drag and drop multiple items at once. When you are dragging and dropping items from My Library to collections, you are not duplicating items. Items in the collection are just links to the single copy of the item in your library. So when you right-click over an item in the collection, you will see Remove Item from Collection. That means you still have the item in your Zotero library, although the item will be removed from the collection. But if you choose Delete Item to Trash, that means after the trash can is emptied, the item will be gone forever. The central column shows the items in the collection or items in My Library. You can click on this drop-down menu, drop-down button to show more headers or uncheck to hide that header. You can also sort items in ascending order or descending order, or click on a different header to sort it by that header. Click on an item, its detail will show in the right column. Under Information tab, you will see all the metadata or information that's captured from the online sources. Next to Information tab, you can add notes. Notes can be research content related or anything you want to put it over here, like a direct quotation you want to use in your writing, or which paragraph or chapter is this source for. Next is tags. You can assign personal keywords to this item, say impact of COVID-19. At the lower left corner, you will see tag selector. And if you select this tag, only items that have been assigned this tag will be filtered out. So tag is like smart filter. You select it, you filter out the items with that tag. You deselect it back to the regular state. So two ways to organize your Zotero library. One is by physically creating collections. The other is by assigning tags to items. At last, I want to show you how to use advanced search. Zotero is very powerful in terms of search. You can do basic search. You can also do advanced search. Say title contains COVID-19. And the good thing about advanced search is you can save search. When you are saving search, say title contains COVID-19, only the searching criteria is saved, not the search result. The saved search will appear as a special collection with purple color in my library. This Safe Search collection will automatically and continuously update itself. That means new items that meet the searching criteria will be automatically put into this collection. So that's a very useful feature for researchers. Now let's see how to write with the help of Zotero. Open Word, create a new document. Zotero's Word plugin is bundled with Zotero application. So you should see Zotero tab up here. Click on it, you will see Zotero toolbar. Start writing. Say here is my first sentence, and assume you want to insert a citation over here. Click on Add Edit Citation. And the first time you insert citation to a document, Zotero will ask you which citation style you want to use. I'll just use APA, click OK. You will see a red dialog box. This red dialog box allows you to search your Zotero library by title, author's last name, and year. I'll just search by last name, and I will choose University Builder. And I can click on the bubble. If I want to customize this citation, I can click on page and do page number, chapter number, so on and so forth. And I can just click on enter or return to enter my first citation. And I continue to write, assume this is my second sentence. And I want to insert another citation. So you can also click on the red Z, click on Classic View. So Classic View allows you to navigate or browse your Zotero library. So you can browse your collections and click on an item. You can show editor to preview the citation, or if you want to cite multiple sources, you can click on another item and use the arrows to add more items, or you can use this drop-down menu to customize your citations, and you can click OK. So that's your second citation. At the end of your writing, if you want to insert a bibliography list, you can click on Add Edit Bibliography. And based on the citations you have in the document, a well-formatted bibliography list will be generated for you. If you spot any error, you don't make a correction within Word, since if you make a correction within Word, and if you refresh, your correction will be overwritten by the wrong information in Zotero library. So what you need to do is you need to go back to Zotero library and locate the item and go to the field, change the field value, and you just come back to your Word document and you refresh, and you will see the correction has been carried over to your Word document. Assume you continue to write, say, this is my third sentence, and you want to insert another citation. I will search by author's last name. So this time I will choose another book by the author with the same last name but different first name. So the good thing about Zotero, I just enter this first. So the good thing about Zotero is when you insert a new citation, Zotero will look all the citations and bibliography in your document and do all the updates needed to reflect the new citation. In this case, the third citation over here, the author has the same last name as the first citation. So the style guidelines require both names to include first initials to help readers tell the authors apart. So not only do you see the third citation has the initials, but also you see the first citation has been updated to include the first initials. With Zotero, you can also switch your citation style for the document, like choose a different citation style if you want to, and then just click OK, and your citation style will be changed. Before you turn your paper to a publisher, you may want to unlink citations. Since all the citations in your document has field code behind it, so this field code may generate problems for publisher's system. So when you click on unlink citations, you are just removing all the field codes and make your document a plain text file. But this unlinked citations is this action is not reversible. So you may want to do it on a duplicate copy of your document. Zotero also has very handy features to generate bibliographies. Sometimes you may not need to insert citations, but you just want to generate a list of bibliography. You can just drag and drop items from Zotero to any text editor Zotero can detect. Say, if I go to COVID-19, I select everything in this folder, and I can just drag items out of Zotero and drop to a text editor. The text editor can be Word, Google Doc, or email, any text editor Zotero can detect. And a nicely formatted bibliography list will be generated for you. If you use Zotero this way, you want to go to Zotero Preferences and go to Export. Make sure the default format is the one you want to use. You can also right-click over the selected item and go to create bibliography from item, or right-click over a collection and say create bibliography from collection, and say choose the citation style you want and copy to clipboard and click OK, and just paste over to a text editor. You can generate a list of bibliography this way as well. Next, we will see how to use Zotero's sync and group features. Both features require you to have a Zotero account set up on Zotero website. Go to Zotero homepage, zotero.org, click on Login. If you don't have a Zotero account yet, click on Register for a free account. It's free, no charge. After you have created a Zotero account, go back to Zotero, click on Zotero, Preferences, put your username and password over here, set up syncing. You can check sync automatically to let Zotero to sync automatically, or you can uncheck sync automatically, then you can use the sync button to sync manually. Syncing will merge your local Zotero library with your library on Zotero servers. Any changes you make on one computer will be applied to all other synced computers through Zotero servers. In other words, syncing are two ways. Latest changes are uploaded to the Zotero servers. Latest changes are also downloaded from the Zotero servers to your local computer. Syncing has two parts. One is data syncing, the other is file syncing. Data syncing syncs all items in your library, notes, and tags from your local computer to the Zotero servers. is free and unlimited. The second part is file syncing. It syncs all attached files, including PDF files and other files from your local computer to the Zotero servers. For a free Zotero account, you have 300 megabyte storage space, which is very limited. The good news is for RISE users, Founder Library has subscribed to Zotero storage as an institution. So as long as your RISE email is added to your Zotero account, you will have free unlimited file syncing storage from Zotero. So go to Zotero homepage and click on Login. Log into your Zotero account. Go to Settings and go to Account. Your RISE email doesn't have to be the primary email. As long as it's listed over here, you will see you have unlimited quota. That's from Founder Library's subscription as an institution. Now that I have my sync set up, I will do manual syncing, and you will see my local library will be merged with the library on Zotero servers. And you will see this sync button is working. So that means it's still going on. When syncing is done, it's complete, you will see the sync button stop spinning. Zotero's groups allows you to share your research data. After you log into your Zotero account, you can go to Groups, create a new group, give your group a name. In terms of group membership, group can be open or closed. Open means anybody can join. Closed means by invitation only. In terms of group status, it can be public or private. Public means the group will have a public page and searchable. Private means the group will not have a public page and will not be searchable. So I'll just create a public open membership group. After a group is created, you can manage all its settings. Back to Zotero, I will do manual syncing, and you will see the group I created appears below my library on the left-hand side column. You can drag items from my library to group library and vice versa. Your group libraries are totally separate from your library. So when you drag an item from my library to a group library, it will create a separate copy in the group library. Say, I'll drag this item and drop it over here. Any items in the group library will be visible and shared among group members. That's how you can share your research data. Let's do a quick recap for what we have covered in this workshop. In order to have Zotero installed properly on your computer, you have to have both these pieces, Zotero app itself and the Zotero connector for the web browser you're using. Then we have talked about the basic workflow of using Zotero. Getting stuff into Zotero, organizing stuff within Zotero, and write with the help of Zotero. For getting stuff into Zotero, look for the Zotero Save button at the upper right corner of your web browser from Zotero's connector. Zotero's Save button is the most convenient and reliable way to get stuff into Zotero. So there are two ways to organize your Zotero library: collections and tags. You can create collections and sort your library items into collections. The saved search collection will automatically and continuously update with new matching items it has the purple color. It's a nice feature of Zotero. You can assign tags to items, and within the tag selector box, you can select a tag or tags, and only items with the tag will be filtered out. So that's another way to organize your Zotero library. Then we have talked about cite in style, how to use Zotero's word plugin to write with the help of Zotero. There are two ways to insert citations. One is through the red dialog box. You can search Zotero library by title, author's last name, year, and then select an item, and then insert a citation. Or you can use the classic view to browse your Zotero library and select an item and then insert a citation. And we have also talked about two additional features, sync and group. Sync allows you to maintain one up-to-date integrated Zotero library across devices. Group allows you to share your research data and also allows you to collaborate with others freely. So that's what we have covered in this workshop. Have fun using Zotero.